Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Module 5 of Strategic Management course. This module is about understanding business model, a foundation concept that is very important in the world of business, strategy and innovation. Have you ever wondered that why there are certain companies who are able to scale so easily while other companies suffer for scaling? Why companies like Airbnb and Razorpay, they are able to cause a disruption in the market? The answer lies in the concept of business model. Business model is a blueprint which provides answer to the question that what organization is providing and how it is creating value for its customers. It tells you about who are our customers, how we provide them value, and ultimately how company is making money. All these basic answers are provided by a business model of a particular organization. By end of this module, participants will be able to understand the concept and significance of business models. They will be able to identify the key components of a business model and analyze real-world business models across industries. They will be able to develop innovative and adaptable business models suited for today's environment. So business model basically shows how an organization create value for customers and how it capture value in return. That is, what is the value they are providing to their customers and how they are generating money from that particular value. From late 20s and early 21st century, there has been a shift from traditional to modern digital models, where the focus is more on customer-centric approach and technology-driven model. If we talk about previous time, the focus of business models was more on efficiency. The focus was to reduce the production cost or achieve efficiency in the operations. There was less focus on customization, on differentiation, and doing something innovative. But later on, there has been a shift. Now, companies focus more on providing technology-driven innovations and customer-centric approach. The focus is on recurring revenue streams. From one-time product sale to recurring revenue is what is required in today's business model. What is the difference between a business model and a strategy? Strategies are more broadly focused, whereas business model are narrowly focused. Business models are part of the overall strategy of the organization. They shows the method of making money in a particular business, whereas strategies are the vehicles or the mediums through which business model is executed. So this is the major difference between strategy and business model. Now, moving to what are the components of a business model. whenever company decides to create its business model, there are certain elements, there are certain components which they should be clear with. It starts with identifying your customer segments. Who will be your target market? So customer segment is a group of people who share similarities in their needs and wants. You need to identify your customer segment that will become your target market. That customer segment may be basis of demographic, that is age, income, gender, education, or it can be in terms of geographic, where they are located in a particular geographical market, or it can be on basis of socio-psychological, wherein you define your customer groups on basis of their values, their personalities, their interests. It could be anything, but you should be clear with what exactly is your customer group. Then you need to know about your value proposition. That is how you are differentiated from competitors. You need to understand what is your USP, how you are providing value to your customers, why they are preferring you over your competitors. That is something which you should be clear with while formulating your business models. Channels, how you are going to provide your products or services to your customers. That is, how you are going to deliver or transport your products or services to your customers. It could be directly by eliminating the intermediary, or it could be by following a proper chain of wholesalers and retailers, or it could be through agents. You have to be clear while defining your business model, like what will be your channels of your distribution, what is the pathway you are going to use in order to deliver or sell your product or service. Then you have revenue streams, how you are going to generate income. That is one of the most important component of your business model. It could be through apps, it could be basic service free of cost and you are charging for inbuilt apps. It could be in one go, or it could be recurring to lock your customers. You have to be clear, like what will be the source of revenue, how you are going to generate income. Then your customer relationship, how you are going to create customer relationship, whether it will be some kind of in-store assistance, or it could be in terms of do yourself. What kind of marketing and advertising you are going to use in order to engage customer relationship. That is also part of your customer relationship. So you need to understand how you are going to interact with your customers. Then, what are the critical resources? Maybe your capital, brand, patent, employees, that is human capital. You need to identify your critical resources. You need to focus on your key activities which you are going to do, whether you are going to do manufacturing, assembling, or providing some kind of service. What all activities are required to be done is also part of your business model. Then moving next to key partners, that is your collaborations, suppliers, distributors, whether you are going to do it on your own or you are going to outsource it to external, all these are part of your key partners. And last is the cost structure. The fixed cost, variable cost, all these things are important components of business model which you should be clear with before finalizing your business model. This canvas was given by Alexander Osterwalder. Now, we are going to talk about different types of business models. The list is not exhaustive. There are multiple types of business models, but we are going to focus only on those which are used more often nowadays. First is your customer solution business model or expertise model. So here, rather than selling a product, a company provides solution to the problems which customers are facing. Such kind of model is known as customer solution business model or expertise model. For example, companies like TCS, IBM, or any other consultation firm, they follow customer solution business model. So repeating, rather than selling a product, here company provides solution to customer problem. They basically sell their expertise. That is customer solution business model. Then you have direct sales business model. Direct sales business model was introduced by Dell in computer industry, which basically means eliminating all intermediaries. That is selling directly to customer, either through online mode or through own retail outlets, but where there is no intermediary involved, where there is no chain of wholesalers, retailers, distributors, agent that is followed in order to provide your offering to your customer. That is known as direct sales business model. That is directly selling to customers by eliminating intermediaries. This kind of model help companies to provide the cost savings to customers in form of low prices. Then we have pyramid profit model. Pyramid profit model means where a company offer full range of products from low price to high price. You attract customers with low price products and move them to high price where company makes money. Repeating again, in pyramid profit model, a company offers full range of products from low price to high price. You attract customers by showing your low price products, and when they enter, you move them to higher price products where company actually makes money. This is very common in automobile sector where companies have full range of cars and for each every benefit they increase the price. Then you have multi-component model, which is also known as installed base model and bait and hook model. This model was invented by Gillette and HP. HP for its printer and cartridges, by Gillette for its razor and blade. So basically here the company offers the main product at break-even price. Break-even price means where the company does not make any money. No profit, no loss kind of a situation. So, repeating again, here the main product is offered at a low price, at a break-even price, where the company is not making money, and the other ancillary product related to it, which can be purchased on a recurrent basis. They sell it at higher prices where the company actually make money with its recurring sales. For example, HP for its printer and cartridges. The printers which they sell at very competitive prices, lower price in comparison to their competitors where they actually do not make money. And for the cartridges, they charge higher price which customers have to purchase on recurrent basis, and that is the source of main profit for that particular company. The same model is followed by Gillette for its razors and its blades, whereas razors are provided at break-even prices and company makes money on the blades which are ancillary part of that particular main product. Such type of model is known as bait and hook model or multi-component system model. Next we have advertising model. It's a very common model which is used nowadays by various companies, wherein company make money through its advertisements. So companies like Google, OLX, even TV channels, newspapers, all of these companies follow advertising model where they make money on basis of the advertisements. Next model is time model. Time model is based on the premise of being first and focusing on speed and R&D. So basically, speed and R&D are the major reasons for company success. Time model is based on the fact that being first in the market, whenever any new innovation is required, the company should introduce that innovation first in a better speed, and by the time other players imitate your innovation, it's the time to move to the next innovation. That is a time model which is based on speed and R&D. So companies like Sony, Apple, they follow time model where they focus on continuous R&D and being first to introduce any new kind of innovation. Then we have efficiency model. Efficiency model is opposite of time model. In case of efficiency model, a company enters late in the market when already there are established players. So repeating again, in efficiency model, a company enters late in the market which is dominated by established players, and the main purpose of their entry is to saturate the market with their low price products. They are always late comers, they always enter late in the market, but when they enter, they always standardize the market by offering their products at low prices in comparison to others. Example, Southwest Airlines, Indigo, Reliance Communication for its mobile phone which was introduced at $499 at that time where all other mobile phones were so expensive. Jio is again other example of efficiency model. So efficiency model is when you are entering late in the market, but when you enter, you try to saturate the market and become the industry leader by offering the product at a lower price and trying to achieve economies of scale. Then you have collaborative creation model. Collaborative creation model basically involves that company is not manufacturing or providing the products on its own. Repeating again, the company do not manufacture the product on its own. Rather, all other stakeholders, it could be customers, it could be public, it could be anyone who do the designing or who create the content on which company makes money. That is collaborative creation, as the name suggests. It is based on crowd sourcing. Example, YouTube, Wikipedia. They follow collaborative creation model. These companies do not create the content. The content is provided by the customers or the general public, but the company charge on that particular content which they offer through their platform. So this is based on crowdsourcing, where you source the ideas from the general crowd. Then you have switchboard model. Under switchboard model, a company provides a platform where buyers meet sellers. The company basically charge commission or brokerage for their services. Example, stock market brokers, real estate agents, online companies like OLX. So where basically a platform is provided, the company is not manufacturing any product or providing its services. It's only providing a platform where buyers are meeting sellers, and through that they are charging their commission or any kind of transaction fee or brokerage. For example, stock market brokers, real estate agents, financial planners, or companies like OLX. Then we have profit multiplier model. Here, idea is to develop a concept. That concept may or may not be profitable, but through synergy, it can lead to various profitable products. This will be more clear with help of example. For example, Walt Disney developed Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is not making money for the company. It's a concept. The concept may or may not be profitable, but through synergy, it can spin off into various profitable products. So company is making money through the various products which they are generating based on this concept of Mickey Mouse character. So they are into retailing, merchandising, toys. There are so many other theme parks, movies where they are capitalizing on this particular character which the company has created. Such kind of model is known as profit multiplier model. You develop one thing and that one thing will lead into multiple profitable things on which company makes money. Other example of this would be being human. Being human is a concept. Now that concept has led into various profitable products on which the company is making money. Then we have collaborative consumption. This is based on the concept of leveraging underutilized assets or resources in the economy. So collaborative consumption is basically where the company leverage on the underutilized assets or resources available in the economy. For example, Airbnb. Airbnb provides a platform wherein those people who have underutilized resources in terms of rooms or their flats, which they basically rent it out to other people. So that is a collaborative consumption, wherein we are saying that you are trying to leverage on the underutilized resources which are there in a particular economy. Other example of this would be Uber, wherein people who have their cars, they can use it and they can connect it with the travelers, those who want to use it. So they are basically, this is the example where we are depending on the underutilized asset which is there in a particular economy. Next is de facto industry standard model. This model basically, a company offers a product at low cost or sometimes free of cost to saturate the market. Once customers are logged, company makes money. For example, Microsoft offering free Internet Explorer along with Windows in order to saturate the market and in order to have an edge over other players like Netscape and others. Did this in order to log the customers. Once customers are logged in, then the company makes money on other products or on same products. Other example of this would be Jio, wherein the product was offered at a very low price to saturate the market. Once customers were logged in, then company increased prices on other services. So one example which I told is Microsoft offering free Internet Explorer with Windows. And other example is of Reliance Jio. So this is de facto industry standard model. Next is bricks and clicks. As the name suggests, it means having offline and online presence. There are various examples of companies who follow bricks and clicks model. For example, Home Center, Nykaa, and many more, where they have both online as well as offline presence. Then we have nickel and dime. In nickel and dime, company offers the main service at low price or break-even price. Other services are offered at premium price where company makes money. Example, airlines. Many airlines offers the basic service of flying at low price where they do not make money, but all other services, be it entertainment services, food services, and other luxury services associated with it, they charge premium price on that. So this model is similar to bait and hook model. The difference between bait and hook model and nickel and dime is bait and hook is for products, nickel and dime is for services. Otherwise, the concept of the model is same. Then we have flat fee. Flat fee is opposite of nickel and dime. In nickel and dime, the company was segregating their services. One service they were providing at a low price, and other services they were making money. In flat fee, a company combine all the services and they charge a flat fee which will be lower than the price if those services are provided individually. Repeating again, in flat fee, a company charge one single price for clubbing different services. This is very common in hotel industry, wherein if you add various other services along with your stay, you get a discounted rate and one flat fee for that particular services. That is flat fee business model. Then we have freemium business model, very commonly used model nowadays. In freemium, your basic service is free of cost, and so it's basically up to a particular limit. And if you want to upgrade, you want to get premium benefits from that particular thing, you are required to pay for premium services. For example, YouTube, if you want to go ad free, you are required to make more payment for that. So basic service is available free of cost. But if you want to get premium services, you are required to pay for it. That is why the name is freemium. That is free plus premium. Gmail, that is Google, they charge prices beyond a particular limit for Gmail. Dropbox, ChatGPT. So all these are the companies which follows freemium model. And then we have subscription model. The main purpose of subscription model is to have recurring revenues over a long period. That is subscription model. Rather than one-time payment, you depend on recurring revenue which you generate from your customers. So these are different types of business models which are there or which are used by real world companies. However, as I said that the list is not exhaustive. There are many other business models, but these are few important business models which are used in nowadays by the companies. Now, I am giving you certain scenarios wherein you are required to identify the business model which has been used in this particular case. Mr. Raj is planning to start a business of providing assembled personal computers to its customers. In order to keep prices low, he has decided to provide the products directly to customers through its own website. So this is model similar to what Dell was offering. This is known as direct sales business model, where directly the products are sold to customers by eliminating all intermediaries. Mr. Anil is planning to start a business of toy manufacturing factory. Due to increasing demand among kids for frozen movie princesses Elsa and Anna, he wants to use these characters on the toys which he will be selling. So for Disney, the business model would be, you have to tell me the model for Disney. It is profit multiplier model. Ms. Rupali is planning to start a garment company that will not create design on its own, but instead it will source them from users or customers. They will manufacture and sell the design which will receive maximum votes from the customers. So this is something which is based on crowd sourcing, wherein you are sourcing the ideas from the crowd. So the name of this business model is collaborative creation. Then Ms. Rita is planning to start an app-based business. In order to attract large user base, she is thinking to offer basic service free of cost, but will be charging high amount from the customers who prefer upgraded version of it. So this is, as the name suggests, freemium. That is free plus premium. Bookloop is an app that lets college students rent, lend or borrow textbooks and notes within their campuses. No buying or selling, just sharing. So this is collaborative consumption. So these are few examples of companies following the real world business models. Now, Next, we move to how to design innovative business models. For designing innovative business models, it is important to understand the need for innovation in business model. Now, what are the innovations in business model? There are two types of innovations in business model: incremental and radical. Incremental is like for adding new market channel. It is an incremental change in the business model. Whereas radical change in business model or radical innovation would be wherein the company is moving from one-time product sale to subscription model, where there is a radical change in a particular business model. So, first it is important to understand the need for innovation in business model. The need can be market disruption, sudden change in technology, or new taste or preferences, or because of global competition. There is a need for innovation in business model. For example, Netflix disrupted traditional rental models with a subscription-based streaming service. This is an example of market disruption. Secondly, saturation of existing model. When your existing business model has become saturated and there is no scope of differentiation, then also there is a need of innovation in business model. For example, ride-sharing platforms like Uber introduce gig economy-driven models. Sustainability and resilience. For having sustainability in your business model, that is also a need for developing or for causing an innovation in existing business model. IKEA, the world's largest furniture retailer, is transitioning its business model from a linear to a circular economy model. Circular economy model is where you focus on reducing waste and improving efficiency. So, first is you are required to understand what is the need for innovation in business model. Then you should be able to answer to all the components of an innovative business model. These are the same components which we discussed when we start with the concept of business models. That is, you should know what will be your customer segments, value proposition, channels, customer relationship, revenue streams, key resources, key activities, key partnerships, and cost structure. You need to answer to all these elements. You need to know all these elements in advance when you are formulating your business model. And then approaches to business model innovation. Like what are the different approaches you are required to follow for causing that business model innovation. Like you have value driven innovation, where you are required to focus on adding value by solving customers' pain points. For example, PayPal simplified online transactions addressing concerns around safety and ease of use. You need to identify the pain point and you need to focus on providing value by offering or by solving the customer pain points. Second is platform-based models, wherein you are required to create ecosystems that connect multiple stakeholders. Amazon Web Services offer a platform for startups and enterprises to deploy cloud solutions. So that is another approach to business model innovation, where you focus on providing an ecosystem to connect various stakeholders. That is platform-based models. Then circular economy models, which aims at reducing waste, and enhancing resource efficiency. Example, IKEA introduced furniture buyback programs to promote recycling. Then we have digital transformation, basically where you use technology to streamline your operations or improve customer interactions. Example, Domino's transformed into a tech-driven pizza delivery company with innovations like real-time tracking. So these are certain kind of approaches which are possible in business model innovation. Lastly, what are the steps to design an innovative business model? First is, you are required to identify the opportunities. You are required to conduct market research to uncover unmet needs or emerging trends. For example, electric vehicles were developed in response to rising fuel prices and environmental concerns. So you need to identify the opportunities, carry out market research, try to identify the unmet need or emerging trend in the society, and accordingly try to develop a business model. Second, ideate and prototype, wherein do some kind of brainstorming to identify the potential models and create prototypes. Example, Spotify tested its freemium model before scaling globally. Do some brainstorming, try to identify different models and create prototype which you can test at the third stage. So third stage basically involves wherein you are required to test, use customer feedback to validate and improvise. Example, Dropbox offered early adopters free storage in exchange for referrals, validating the demand for their offering. And lastly, scale and adapt. Once it is validated, you are required to scale and implement it on larger scale. Example, Instagram pivoted from a location-based check-in app to a photo sharing platform. So basically, these are the steps which you are required to follow for designing an innovative business model, which is based on understanding the needs of business model, which focus more on customer needs and are more technology driven. The main focus is that you should be able to identify your value proposition, that is, why customer choose you over others. Airbnb providing affordable, authentic local stays, value for travelers, as well as the income which they are getting, it is creating value for the host. So you should know that with the particular business model, what kind of value you are going to create for the customers as well as for the company. If we talk about the innovative business models, nowadays companies are focusing on becoming lean startup. What do we mean by lean startup? Fact of fail fast. So rather than launching your product on a large scale, what nowadays startups are doing, they take their MVP, that is minimum viable product, to the market to check, to validate, and once it is validated, then they launch on a large scale. What is the benefit of doing it? Number one benefit is that it avoids wastage of time and resources. If you develop a product, you launch it on a large scale, it requires time and commitment of resources. And if then it fails, it will be a big failure. But when we talk about lean startup, therefore we call it as fail fast. Because if you want to fail, you will fail fast without spending or without wasting your time, money and other valuable resources. Therefore, it is considered as a better technique nowadays which is used by various startups. So it involves basically 3 steps. What are those steps? Build, measure and learn. First thing is you are required to build your MVP, that is minimum viable product. For example, if you are planning to start with a food app, your MVP will be a basic app which allow customers to order and track their orders. So, first thing is you are required to build a basic MVP. You have to measure, you have to test your MVP with your target customers. You ask few people to use that particular app, generate feedback, use that feedback to improvise it. That is what we are doing under measure phase. Repeating again, you are required to test your MVP with your target customers and obtain feedback. Last phase is learn. Based on the feedback and the various iterative procedures which you incorporate in your app, you are required to take a decision, and that decision will be based on your learning. Maybe to pivot or to persevere, that is to change or to continue. So these are the 3 steps which startups nowadays use in order to test and validate their offerings. So founders use customer development, that is get out of the building approach to test their solutions. They practice agile development, which is flexible developments to build their solutions and use it in conjunction with the customer development approach. What do we mean by agile development? As the definition, they are the methodologies based on iterative development where requirements and solutions evolve through collaborations between self-organizing cross-functional teams. Example, Dropbox, co-founded by Drew Houston in 2007, apply lean startup principles to test and refine a business model before committing major resources. Rather than building a full-fledged file-sharing product upfront, they created a simple explainer video that demonstrated Dropbox could do, syncing files across devices in the cloud. The MVP was designed not to deliver the service, but to test customer interest and validate the value proposition. The video went viral, generating over 70,000 signups overnight. This strong signal of product market fit encouraged the team to move forward with development. Dropbox continued to iterate using feedback loops, keeping the product simple and focused. The business model evolved from free storage with referral incentives to a freemium model, where users could upgrade to paid plans for more storage and features. By using build, measure, learn cycle and focusing on real customer pain points, Dropbox scaled quickly and efficiently without wasting resources on assumptions. This is one of the best examples of lean startup methodology where the company has used build, measure, learn cycle to test their products. So here, if we just summarize this case, the MVP which was developed is a simple explainer video demonstrating that how software would work. Purpose was to test the consumer interest before investing in development. As part of customer validation, the video generated over 70,000 email sign-up overnight, providing a strong evidence for product market fit. What is product market fit? Product market fit is basically when the product which the company is going to launch is meeting the market needs or not, whether it can be scalable, it can fit into the market or not. They used build, measure, learn loop. Instead of scaling too early, they released early versions, gathered feedback, measured usage and iterated. This ensured efficient learning and refinement of the product. As part of their business model strategy, they started with a freemium model with paid upgrades for more space. Also, they use a referral programs to accelerate user growth cost effectively. This helped to reduce their risk, avoid premature scaling, and also the resources were used efficiently. And with this, the company was able to leverage the viral growth of that particular organization and they scaled rapidly after validation. This is how this company has used the lean startup methodology to enter and to expand in the market. This is a solution model which is similar to business model where we say that the new startup should include all these components as part of their business model, wherein they focus on the problem which they are providing, the kind of value proposition they are offering which differentiate them from their competitors, the customer segment which they are going to target at, the different kind of solution channels they are going to use, the advantage which they have over others, the cost which is acquired to acquire one customer, their minimum viable product, their overall business model, that is method of making money, and the cost structure. So solution model for a startup should comprise of all these elements in order to decide upon their business model. So when we talk about the customer segmentation, one important model which can be used is known as STP business model or STP marketing model, which stands for segmentation, targeting and positioning. First thing is you need to decide that how you are going to segment the market. There is no one way of cutting the cake. You can segment the market in multiple ways. It can be geographic, it can be demographic, it can be psychographic. It can be on the basis of whether you are going to cater to retailers, wholesalers or consumers. It can be on based of your product, whether you are into prestige product, luxury product, life-saving product, matured product or a necessity product. So it's important to divide your market first. You should be able to identify your target market. After segmentation, next step is targeting. Where do you want to focus? Once you have divided the market, it's important to see that what will be your target market, where you want to focus. Your target market is something which should be big enough, so size is an important consideration. It should be profitable enough so that you are making money from that particular market, and reachability. You can cover the market with your distribution and marketing efforts. These are the three important considerations which you have to keep in mind while deciding your target market. And the last is your positioning. Positioning is basically the feeling which brand try to invoke. Like if I ask you, what do you feel when you see an Apple Mac? Maybe you will talk about luxury. What you hear about PVR director cut? Comfort. When you are boarding a Japanese train, punctuality. When you have an old Nokia phone, reliability. When you wear a Rolex watch, rich, influential. So these are the feelings which you will be having after hearing or seeing these products. The same feelings which I also have. This is what is positioning, the image which brands try to evoke in the minds of customers. So when you are deciding about your business model, you should be clear that what kind of image you want to create in minds of customer. So this is also an important consideration which you have to keep in mind while deciding about your business model. So primarily, there are different ways in which positioning can be done. It can be symbolic, it can be functional, or it can be experiential. Symbolic is something which satisfies your self-ego or self-esteem, where companies focus on something luxury or environmental friendly which satisfy your ego needs or self-image, which enhance your self-image. Functional, where the company try to position basis of the features or the benefits. Experiential, wherein company tries to show some kind of emotional connection with the brand. So these are different types of positioning which can be done when deciding about the right positioning technique. So with this, I will conclude this particular module on business models, wherein we have covered about different types of business model which companies are using nowadays. We have also covered that how one can create an innovation in business model to survive in today's competitive environment where the focus is shifting towards being more customer-centric and technology-driven. We also talked about the business model which startups usually use nowadays and how they focus on lean startup methodology in order to develop their business model. With this, we'll conclude this particular module with the quote that a business model is not just a way to make money. It is a way to deliver value in a manner that aligns with your mission, market, and means. Thank you.